You are welcome to yet another episode of HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly, real name Robert Sylvester Kelly, also known as the R&B King. Government says the main reason they are holding R. Kelly is because he targeted underage girls. While this sounds so serious as an allegation, the question remains whether the prosecution was actually able to prove that Kelly did this. Those who still think R. Kelly actually did target such an age group for sexual partners are probably reading from the media gallery, which only got involved to distort the truth and sell the wrong narrative. Anyone who wishes to know the real truth ought to read the trial transcript, which is the only record that it's able to expose the irregularities in witness statements, and the disconnect between what was actually said and the charges imposed onto the R&B King. During Azriel Clary's testimony, she described several events that would have exonerated the R&B King if to serve justice had been the intention of the courts of law. Unfortunately, because the main target was to lock up R. Kelly for life, the judge and jurors had no eyes for any event described that would suggest R. Kelly was not guilty of the alleged crimes. One of them being the fact that Azriel stated that when R. Kelly found out her true age was 17, he sent her back to her parents in Florida. We wish to understand why the same man who allegedly targeted underage girls would ask a 17-year-old to return to her parents after learning that she had lied to him she was 18 all along. This event alone shows that had R. Kelly not been lied to by Azriel about her age in the first place, he never would have been sexually involved with her. And this goes against the allegations that he targeted underage girls. It's actually the other way round, and it looks like it's the underage girls who targeted him instead. One would argue that they were underage, they were young and he is to blame. Well, a deeper analysis of what actually happened will demystify this matter. And giving Azriel as an example will help anyone understand why it was never R. Kelly's fault that he didn't know her true age. Azriel's claims of being 18 were sufficiently supported by her own adult parents who had actually sent her off on mission to blackmail R. Kelly. In one of her popular interviews available online, she makes very strong accusations against her own parents when she says they had been calling R. Kelly and telling him if he didn't wire $20,000 onto their bank account by Monday, they would expose him and ruin his reputation. So the very same people who fueled their daughter to be with R. Kelly, and encouraged her to lie to him she was 18 were now making demands with threats of doing exactly what they did to him, leaving him with a ruined career and reputation. How can the Department of Justice together with their trial judges team up with such malicious fellas to undermine R. Kelly's reputation and destroy his career after making him a victim of blackmail? If the justice system and government prosecution were out to catch the criminals, why would the victim of blackmail who was only made to believe the woman was 18, and that made an effort to send her back home when he realized she had lied be the one languishing in jail, while the parents who fueled their daughter into getting sexually involved with the R&B King are out there enjoying sunny days? Who between R. Kelly and the Clary parents is the criminal here? The one who got involved unknowingly, or the one that was involved knowing well their daughter was still a few months away from turning 18? Meanwhile, the parents cannot pretend anymore that they didn't know what kind of relationship their daughter had with R. Kelly, considering the ignored text message evidence suggests otherwise. Imagine at one point Azriel's mother did text R. Kelly on her daughter's behalf and pretended to be her. And in this exchange, she was in fact leading him to believe that she was a mature woman ready to be with him sexually. She is also quoted coaching her daughter on how to please the R&B King, and showing excitement to her that her son-in-law was going to be an older man. Who among these is the real criminal? The one who was simply lied to and later blackmailed? Or the one who knew the truth but still encouraged her daughter to lie about her age and get involved with an older man? Another important line in the trial transcript that was completely ignored by the judge and her jury was one where R. Kelly's accusers state that it was R. Kelly alone that inflicted pain on them and not his staff. None of R. Kelly's employees is implicated anywhere in the case against R. Kelly as a perpetrator of any criminal act. And this greatly undermines the government claims of RICO violation. Even in Chicago, where his co-accused Daryl McDavid is implicated as an accomplice in obstruction of justice, he is duly acquitted and the charges dropped. meaning if R. Kelly wronged anyone, he did it alone and not in a racket like the RICO charges suggest. The government had no valid basis to assume that R. Kelly operated an illegal enterprise just because he actually had a team that managed his music business but knew nothing of his alleged crimes. It is impossible to have an illegal racketeering enterprise where the other members were not involved in crime at all. The racket idea here is meant to refer to partners in crime. Or call it a gang of criminals, which is not anywhere present in R. Kelly's case. If any R. Kelly staff booked an air ticket for him and those he was flying with to different places, these are not acts of crime considering these women were legal by state law, and therefore old enough to travel without parental supervision. Besides, it was normal work routine for the employees to make travel arrangement for R. Kelly whenever he had to tour around the country. R. Kelly's workforce was therefore not an illegal enterprise, but a legal one only managing his music business. It's in fact a shame that some judges can think that the RICO clause was enacted to target legal enterprises as opposed to illegal ones. An enterprise does not become illegal because it has a criminal in it. The law do not look for a criminal in a legal enterprise, but rather an individual in a criminal enterprise. The enterprise has to be rooted in crime and not the other way round. It's therefore high time the government returned to its senses, together with the Department of Justice, whose reputation is now on the line after maliciously convicting the R&B king with fake charges. If this verdict is not reversed, Judge Ann Donnelly will become the latest addition to enter the books of history as one other judge that prejudiced a black successful defendant only because of his skin color and celebrity status, ignoring all the laws of this nation just so she could satisfy her racist appetite to lock up yet another successful black man. She will have qualified herself to joining the team of judges that includes the one of 1912 who convicted heavyweight champion Jack Johnson for simply loving white women, a conviction that was indirectly overturned by Trump's presidential pardon even in his demise. Attorney Jennifer Bonjean, however, promises to fight this injustice until R. Kelly returns to freedom. If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahnnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say? To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.